All right, y'all, welcome back. So Joe Budden, Steven Jackson, Tamika Mallory, and others have spoken out against Kevin Hart and also spoken out against a joke that Tony Hinchcliffe made at the roast. So we got to talk about this. If you don't know, Kevin Hart had a roast. Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke. He said that some of our black people love you so much. George Floyd is looking up laughter that he can't breathe, right? And obviously he's saying George Floyd's in hell and he's laughing so hard he can't breathe. Obviously we know what happened to George Floyd, and a lot of people are upset by that joke. So let's take a listen to what Joe Budden has to say about it.
Tony and the George Floyd shit. Actually, before he said the George Floyd shit, I was tight because they said Tony looks like, this was during somebody else's roast. I forgot, maybe it was Pete, I don't remember. Tony looks like at the slave master that makes his slaves do musicals. That's funny. Everybody laughed. And he felt the need to get up and act that out and turn around to where all the black people were sitting line behind him and do the musical.
Conduct the shit.
Somebody needs to slap the shit out of him. That's not okay while we honor the black person. It's not okay. I get it. It's comedy. We can say what we want. Oh, it's edgy. It's a roast. Everybody gotta get him the fuck out of here. No. Do that shit in fucking, what's that part of Texas? Yeah. Austin. Do that shit in Austin at Joe Rogan's Comedy Club. Not here, not now. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, so I don't necessarily agree with this one. I just don't like, bro. It's like that honestly makes it funnier. Like, hey, you look like the slave master who does da da da, and he turned around to black people do like that makes it funnier. Are these people actually fucking slaves? Like, no. So it's like, why would that even make me upset? Like, the joke was there. If I think that joke is funny, I can already imagine him doing that. So then when I see him doing it, like, nigga, that's funny. So I don't be knowing when it comes to Joe and his like, I don't want to say political message because I don't think like people talk shit about black people is necessarily inherently political. But like when it comes to these type of situations, I don't be knowing if Joe's being performative now. I don't know if he really be giving a fuck or it's like he feel like because he on a podcast he got to feel this strongly about it. Because they went on and not ramble, but they went on and talked about this for another 8 to 10 minutes about Tony Hinchcliffe and why he shouldn't do this and why he shouldn't do that and why they're upset. I don't even think Tony Hinchcliffe is funny. Like, I've never seen anything from like, oh my God, that was masterful comedy. That was so hilarious. I've seen people on his show kill Tony that are super hilarious and funny, but I've never actually seen Tony Hinchcliffe like, this guy is funny as hell. So when it comes to George Floyd joke, like I said in my other video, it's just a bad joke. It's not bad because it's not funny. It's just like some shit I've seen on Twitter a million times. Like some random right-wing and on Twitter troll is where I've seen the George Floyd looking up memes and all this type of shit. Like that wasn't original. He didn't just think of that off the top of his head. That shit's been on Twitter for years. So that's why I thought it was like a cheap, like, okay, it's like, nigga, you get your jokes off Twitter. Like we've been seeing that. Like that's where you wanted to go with that one? Okay, cool. Like that wasn't really original. That's my really critique of it. It's not really an original joke. So, that's what Joe had to say. They also went into Kevin Hart and, giving Kevin Hart backlash. And obviously Joe said, why didn't nobody slap him? Nobody slapped him. If Joe was at that roast, he would have been sitting right there fucking chuckling as well. We all know Joe, how fake that nigga is. He would have been there. He wouldn't have went stone cold face, got mad, got up and slapped the shit out of him for, you don't do that to us. Like, that's why I say it's performative bullshit because Joe is famous. He can be in rooms with famous people. I'm not saying he would have got invited to Kevin Hart's roast, but I'm just saying like, he wouldn't have done that himself. So it's easy for me to say, as a nigga who not getting invited to award shows and Grammys and all this type of shit, say, if I would have heard that, somebody should have slapped him and it would have been me. Like, you wouldn't have did it. You could be in those rooms. I'm sure if Joe Budden asked Kevin Hart, I don't know how cool they are, but if he did, let's say he asked him, hey, got come to the roast, just sit in the audience, whatever. He said, yeah, cool, Joe, I fuck with you. I did interviews with you. If Joe wouldn't have did shit. Joe wouldn't have slapped nobody. We would have panned to the audience and Joe would have been over there chuckling just like everybody goddamn else. That's how I look at it. So then, obviously, you got people that are close to the situation that are chiming in on this. Steven Jackson, former NBA player, all the Smoke podcast, and he was one of the biggest celebrities that were kind of frontline for George Floyd because one, he kind of looks like George Floyd, and two, they grew up together or they know each other from Houston. So let's take a listen to this.
Every dime they tried to pay me, me and Q gave back to the community. Wherever we went, we gave it back.
We're going to have to restart because it started in the middle.
So you can't tell people that risk things and that really love somebody to feel a certain way when he's disrespected. Clown. Y'all keep laughing though. One thing about it, you can't tell people what to be offended by and what not to be offended by. Everybody laughing until it's their family member that get murdered. Then it ain't funny. Then it ain't funny when it's your family member. It's funny when it's everybody else family member, and it's cool when it's everybody else family member. When they come to your doorstep, you want everybody to feel a certain way. See, I rode for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Risked everything I had going on in real time. No cap, no lies. 29 different states marching for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Every dime they tried to pay me,
Okay, like even with this one, it's like, all right, it's like I get it. Like if George Floyd was my brother, because there's a George Floyd's brother did speak out about this, and like I said, the one person I do truly feel sorry for is his family, because they have to constantly be like berated with, you know, oh, your brother was evil, he was this, he was bad, which is like, yes, George Floyd robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint when he was younger. Yes, that's fucked up, but like, I'm not going to sum up someone's entire life by like individual moments where they made their worst mistakes. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like, I used to work in warehouses with niggas that was in prison for 18 years for doing this and doing that. And when you're around these people, like, they're genuinely, maybe it's just at work, but they just genuinely good people. So like, yeah, George Floyd was on drugs later on in his life before he died. Yes, he did this when he was early in his life, but that doesn't mean he's in hell. That doesn't mean some evil guy. I think people are just mad because people started to make George Floyd like this, like symbol of hope or whatever. And that's why people are mad. But even still, it's like he didn't choose. He didn't choose to be in that moment at that time to get that knee on his neck and that person to film that and then to go out to the world. Like he didn't choose those things. They were kind of, I don't want to say divine intervention, but like they just happened to happen that way. But even for Steven Jackson, it's like, I don't know, just hearing some of the shit, it's like, bro, I ain't taking any money for nobody. It's like, man, you're a rich NBA player. Like, okay, like, you get credit for not taking money? I risked everything for. It's like, what did you risk? George Floyd was like the biggest, like political PR move out there, and I'm sure like your audience with all the smoke wasn't some like right wing. We hate George Floyd. Why are you doing this? You're turning your back on us. You were against like. That probably didn't do nothing but help your career. So just when I hear these certain things, like, what is the point of you telling us that? Like, he could be upset. Like, I'm not mad. He could be upset about the George Floyd joke, but all the extra, like, I did this, I wrote for my brother, I took no money for this. It's like, okay, you were rich. Like, I mean, like, okay, congratulations. I risked it all for this. Risked what? Like, bro, that was like like I said, this is the biggest PR move ever. I'm not saying he did it for PR, but I'm saying like, that was a great moment. Like, anybody else behind George Floyd was looked at as a great man. So it's like, what political or what PR hit would you have even taken for standing behind George Floyd? Like I said, if you were like a right-wing agitator, a right-wing commentary, a right-wing reactionary, and then that was your homie, and then he died, and then you went full BLM, then, okay, like, you might lose that audience, and you might have took a risk, but, like, you took no risk, really, like, for rocking with George Floyd. So, I don't know. Then you have Sukihana.
Let me get this right. Because I know I did not just watch a group of white colonizers disrespect George Floyd. You made a joke out of his death? A black man who was defeated from police brutality? Let me get this right.
I ain't gonna lie, this feels like, I don't know if this is, they just feel like period. They feel like now she's the Hebrew Israelite woman. She's like, the brother got defeated by the police, but it's like, the white colonizers talking about our brother. It just feel like it should just feel performative. Like, I guess I've seen Dr. Umar speak about Sukihana being really conscious. Like, and everything she does online is like a mask for that. But underneath, she's super smart, super conscious. And I'm not saying she's not, because maybe she just does what she does or did what she did to pay bills and get money and feed her kids. And she is super conscious. But like, once again, it just feels like performative. It just does to me.
That hurt an entire community of people. That we cried and we fought and we protested for it. I'm more appalled at the black people that sat there and watched it and laughed. No, that hurt nobody got up. Nobody said, you know what, this is my cue, I'm leaving. Y'all stayed. I mean, I seen Will Smith slapped for disrespecting his wife over alopecia. And she's alive. But y'all sat there and let them funky white motherfuckers, nobody got.
Like I said, like a joke is a joke. A bad joke is a bad joke. Like, you could be offended by it, but I just think a lot of this stuff is performative. Like, y'all didn't get up and leave. Man, I would have. Sukihana, once again, same thing I said about Joe Budden. She's famous. I'm sure like she wouldn't have stormed out or she would have walked on stage. Just, give me that mic. We ain't gonna let these cracker colonizers talk about our like. She wouldn't have did that either. That's why I feel like shit's performative. Like me, like I said, I could say shit like that. I would have walked out because I may never be in a situation where I'm in the rooms. Like, I could just say that. Like, I would never do this. Like, y'all be in the rooms with these people. Y'all be in these award shows. People say certain shit on the stage and on this and on that. And it's like, it's a comedy thing. Like, I don't know. It's a comedy thing. Like I said, last thing, Tamika Mallory. There's literally nothing funny about how George Floyd was murdered. Allowing that white man or any other man to stand up there and disrespect us while laughing is disgusting. Part of the reason black folks continue to face severe attacks against our rights is because some of us think everything is shits and giggles. It wasn't funny at all. I mean, like I said, I get it to the micro, like to really be like, hey, like that was a very serious situation. Hey guys, maybe we shouldn't laugh about that. Hey guys, maybe we should have stood up. But like being realistic, what did y'all expect the people to do? Because maybe like Tamika Mallory wouldn't have laughed. She would have been in the crowd stone cold face. Like, you know, maybe Steven Jackson would have been in the crowd stone cold face. But like, what would that have even done? Like, okay, you're not laughing. But a lot of people weren't laughing. And sometimes you could laugh out of awkward laughter. You could laugh out of, oh shit, did he just fucking say that laughter? Not laughter like, oh my God, I think this was the funniest joke in the world. Like he's like the second coming of Eddie Murphy on Raw. Like oh my God, this was delirious. Like this was hilarious. No, it's just like, oh, that was okay. Shit, did he really fucking say that? Like, that's how I look at it. And even to make it like this thing, like, no, all you black people are setting us back because of there's bigger shit that's pushing black people back, and it ain't got nothing to do with Tony Hinchcliffe making a joke about George Floyd. If people want shit to change, they got to get active politically. They got to really get out there and vote. We see what happened with these districts getting chopped up, chopped and screwed. Now your district used to be a blue district. Now they split your shit in half. So now you sharing votes with these people. Now your district a red district. So you got to be more politically active. You got mass immigration coming in, taking votes or taking politicians' attention away from you. And there's a lot more things that are going on that are going to hurt black people than if people see Tony Hinchcliffe make a bad joke about George Floyd. Because like I said earlier, it is a bad joke. Like, it's not a bad joke because I'm offended. It's a bad joke because it's just a bad joke. It's a bad joke because we've seen right-wing accounts on Twitter post that joke for years, literally years before Tony Hinchcliffe decided to take it to the Netflix stage. So that's my take on it. I think, like I said, some people just being performative. I know that's a word that gets used a lot. People being performative, and it just sometimes it feels that way. So now, to me, it just feels that way. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that Kevin Hart's in the wrong? Kevin Hart should be canceled. Kevin Hart is this, and every black person in the building, Cheryl Underwood, Regina Hall, the Draymond Green, who else was there that was black? Kevin Hart, obviously he's black. I don't know if Cat Williams was laughing. They didn't really pay it to him, but like everybody there should be looked at, and we should look at you with a screw face because, you know, you let that man say, that's the biggest thing to me. You let him say that. Like, you want Draymond Green to go up there and like fucking hit him in the nuts like he does on the court. Like, what did you really want somebody to do? What did you want him to do? So let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section down below. Do you agree, disagree? Do you think that somebody should have got up and did something in defense of the joke about George Floyd? I don't know. Let me know. See you guys next one. I'm out. Peace.